All right, welcome back. Part 2 of the eggs. We prepped the eggs. Now, the butter is melted. We are going to get ready to cook these eggs in the frying pan, also known as fry the eggs. We're going to fry these eggs, people. Fry them, yeah. All right. I'm just moving the pan around to get the bottom of the pan covered with this butter. For some reason, there's little areas of the pan that don't seem to want to get covered with butter. But that's done now, so I'm going to take this here fork, I'm going to break these yolks, and I am going to stir them up. Stir them up, yeah, here we go. 1, 2, 3, stir these. The reason I do this is, as you may know, I do not enjoy yolks. No siree, Bob. So, instead of throwing out the yolks and all that nutrition, I'm gonna mix them, and then, to disguise the taste, I'm gonna put some cheese on there with some pepper. Make these eggs to my liking. Very basic. Is it an omelet? I don't know. A Michelin chef would probably say no. But as we discussed in a previous video, we'll call this a proto omelet, also known as an omeletoid. That is a word I coined. Feel free to use it. Just cite me if you're going to use it in any research papers. All right, that looks fine. Eggs in the pan. Steak has been reheated. Coffee is made. I'm gonna clean this here mug for my coffee. Clean the old mug. Gotta do some dishes. Most of my dishes are dirty. When I need a piece of cutlery, flatware they say, whoops. If I need some flatware, I gotta wash it to use it. Same with a mug. So I'm gonna do a load of dishes tomorrow and solve this issue. Rinsing the cup. I'm gonna rinse this cup. I'm gonna rinse it good. All right, cup is rinsed. I'm drying the bottom with this dirty towel. So I'm not gonna wipe out the inside with that towel because that towel is something I've been drying my hands on for a while. All right, next step, pepper. Actually, I'm going to put the egg on first. The cheese, I'm going to put the cheese on the egg first, and then I'm going to use the pepper. I'm getting hungry while I'm cooking. This is interesting. For some reason, I very rarely actually feel hunger. Once in a while I do, but I'm starting to actually feel the sensation of hunger. I used to feel hunger when I was younger. That rhymes. If you're making a limerick, you just need one more rhyming variant. Younger, hunger, splunger. I wouldn't go with splunger. Nobody even knows what that means. But anyway, you could use it for the two rhyming word part of the limerick. But anyway, when I first went to Korea, I was without food for almost a month, and I was very hungry at first, but I got so used to hunger, I don't know if I broke something in my mind, but I stopped feeling hungry, and I very rarely felt hunger after that. I mean, I still feel hunger from time to time, but very rarely in the sense that I used to feel hungry every time I'd be hungry. But now it's like very rarely, once in a while I'll feel hungry, and the rest of the time I'm like, oh, it's been 20 hours, I forgot to eat, I should eat something. So that was interesting. So I don't know if I broke my hunger notifier, or if this is just normal for people who are hungry. You actually learn to deal with it, and you learn to ignore it, and you learn that it's not a big deal. It's probably the latter. We live in a first world country where, oops, there goes the alarm to tell me to get up to get ready for bed. I'm going to turn that off. Yeah, so did I break something? It's like a engine light on your car. Did I burn out the engine light bulb that tells me I'm hungry all the time? Or did I just learn, as ancient man and many people in the world today who don't regularly have enough to eat, did I just learn the normal response to hunger, that it's not a big deal? We eat too much in the West, in the first world anyway. Missing meals is perfectly normal from a human being standpoint. Anthropology, talking ancient man, I'm sure our ancestors have been hungry a lot of the time, and once you realize it's not a big deal, you deal with it and you ignore it. So that's the question. I think it's probably the latter. And I think it's probably a good lesson for a lot of people to learn, is that hunger is not a big deal. I mean, starvation's a big deal. But it goes back to what we said about Siddhartha, and by we I mean me, but we're in conversation here. You know, Siddhartha learned to think, he learned to wait, and he learned to fast. And these things were his three weapons in life to get through difficulties. And you kind of got to go through the hunger to deal with the hunger. I mean, people can tell you that hunger's not a big deal and don't worry about it and ignore it. But until you learn, they can tell you all the time, but you're not really going to learn. It's like there's a saying these days that's quite popular. I'm sure it's not a new saying, but the worst thing that's ever happened to you is the worst thing that's ever happened to you. And that means you get a little kid, he drops his ice cream cone, he cries, it's the end of the world for him, because that's the worst thing that's ever happened to him. But he learns that's not a big deal. Next time he drops his ice cream cone, he might be a little miffed, but it's not the end of the world. The third time he goes, oh well, in life people drop ice cream cones. Sometimes you eat the ice cream, sometimes the pavement gets the ice cream. melted all over it. And the more hardship you deal with, the bigger your capacity to deal with hardship, generally speaking. I mean, of course, there's stuff we cannot handle that will crush us. So, going through all this terrible hardship now is toughening us up, making us more resilient. I mean, too much and for too long is probably going to break people, but I don't think it's going to come to that personally. Anyway, these are some musings. So remember, think, try to be positive, wait, try to be patient, and fast. Try to endure. And I use the more broad sense of the term fasting, just to endure whatever hardships we're going through, whether it is lack of food or whether it's lack of something else, whatever is the problem. And those who know me personally may know what I'm enduring and what some people around me are enduring. But these specifics are not really the point at this right now. Anyway, I'm going to enjoy these eggs. It's almost 10 o'clock. I've got to be out of here by 11:15. I've got to be to work at 11. So I better get on the hop, so to speak. Hope you enjoyed these videos. Hope you enjoyed our time together. Till next time, who loves you, baby? This guy. And don't forget, you're somebody's favorite person out there. Probably me. So, till next time, goodbye. Love you. And I will see you tomorrow, right here.